Hello again, welcome back. We're doing more React Native, which is really great. In the previous video, we set up we're in the process of solving the list detail pattern, right? So we set up a stack navigator and we created a list view right here, and we kind of added the touchable highlight so you can touch on a cell, right? We gave some styles to our cell and we got our cells scrolling there. Now we want to navigate from here into the detail view and pass the data about a particular animal to that detail view. So let's talk about it for a minute. So right now, this black right there is not looking that great. Like you can't read the text, right, when you tap on a cell. So the touchable highlight has an underlay color property, okay? And this lets you set what color the cell is when you tap it. So currently the cell is black because we haven't set any color yet. So the color can be any valid color. So I'll put the quotes here and you could pick any color. Maybe I'll pick tomato, right, is a great color. And then when I tap on it, now you can see each of my cells is kind of orange. Maybe that's a little strong here. So maybe I'll do, EEE as like a light gray. Hard to see there. That light gray is so hard to see. Maybe that's not dark enough, right? Let's do, how about DDD? Let's try this, right? Oh, that's not too bad, right? Kind of shows that it's tapping. So I tap on that with my finger and then I can easily see that I've selected American Shorthair or Bengal cats or Burnman, right? Okay. You could change that. Maybe CCC would be even better, like a little bit darker, right? So yeah, that looks pretty good, right? So that'll be pretty obvious to people. Now we have the challenge of how tapping on this is going to take us to the next screen, right? So if you notice here, we can import navigation, but actually it doesn't get passed down because like the idea is we want to import navigation. I get it here as a prop in home screen, but it's not going to be passed to the cell. So we can kind of test that actually. Let's test this here. So currently, like when I tap on a cell, you can see that I'm going to print the word hello. And I tapped on a bunch of cells there, so you can see I see hello here in the console. If I was here though, and I loaded up one of those cells and I did a console log, and I wanted to log navigation, right? You'll see it just says undefined, right? So those are for all the cells that we created, right? Okay, so undefined, not good, right? So how are we going to get navigation? Well, the navigation is passed to the screen, and so home screen gets it. Like we saw that earlier, so home screen has it. So somehow I need to pass this down here or somehow call a function up in home screen from inside cell, right? So let's do that. So I'm going to make a new prop here called on, let's call it, how about show details, okay? So I'll make show details into a prop and we'll give it a, let me actually do this. I'm going to wrap this in the parentheses and then move this to its own line. And then that'll make this a little easier to read, right? How about like that, right? So that should be, did I make a mistake there? Oh, I guess I got to fill this in, so that's my error there. Yeah, so I've got show details here, and what I want to do is I want to pass a function, right? So when you show the details, I want to call this function right here. So maybe we can say navigation dot navigate. So it's not navigation.navigation like the code hint wants, it's navigation.navigate. And then we want to pass in which view that we want to navigate to. So I'm going to say details, and then we'll have to have some data here. Now, if you remember in the previous example, our details screen expects an ID, right? So if I go to home screen here, I better include that ID. So I'll just put it here as like 1, right? So as long as it has that, otherwise it's gonna throw an error, right? So I've got this, and now we have to just make sure that show details is called when you tap on a cell. So since I'm passing this function down as a, and that's this whole thing is the function that we're passing right there, since we're passing that as a prop, inside cell, we can get that here, right? You could also pass navigation down, and that might work too. You know, maybe that's even better. I don't know. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Depends on how you want to approach it. I kind of like this pattern, so I'm going to go with this, right? But anyway, so I've got my details, my show details here, and then when you press on the touchable highlight here, instead of doing console log hello, let's call show details. Okay. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to go back to my view here, and if I tap on Abyssinian, I get the details screen, right? If I tap on American Curl, I get the details screen, right? So now the goal is to pass the cat and dog data to the details screen, okay? So I'll leave that for you to solve on your own if you want, but the idea here is that, you know, if we're here, you can actually just take this whole item and pass it in as a prop here, right? But then you'll also have to reconfigure the details screen to read that item, okay? So give that a try, and then I'll go over it and we can compare our work in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching.